I welcome all of you for my DDS 3.0 presentation in today's morning session. Now, I start my presentation with a small thought by Keanu Reeves in a podcast by Vikrant Massey.
I think the audio is missing. While sharing, you should have picked up the audio also. You can reshare also.
Okay.
The audio is not seen.
Ma'am, you can stop sharing the screen, and once you start resharing again, there is an option where to also allow the audio to be shared. If you choose that option, the audio will be audible.
Sir, I didn't get it.
Ma'am, stop sharing right now.
Okay.
And start resharing the screen again. Stop sharing, like stop the screen sharing.
Okay.
Now start the sharing again. Once you start sharing, on the right hand side, you see two options on the computer screen. There, you should allow the audio to be shared. If you do that, the audio will be, we can hear the audio.
Okay. On the right side of the screen.
You will see share options in that.
Yeah, share sound. Share sound. Yeah, share sound. I think it should be done now. Yeah. Not able to move the screen because I've stopped sharing it.
Do it again. It should move.
Stop sharing. Yeah, I'll share sound. It's why it's only not moving because I'm not sharing it. I think I'll start sharing and see. I'll just do it.
Yep. Increase the volume.
I increased it, so
It's there. I think still.
Okay, no issues. I will talk
Yeah.
about. Yeah. So this is the opening screen of what I've selected today. So this is a very famous saying by Keanu Reeves. So he says it's not about being famous. It's not about being rich. It's all about being a nice person. and if you can empower people through your actions or your words, and if you can leave behind a better place, a better world, in whatever small contribution you can make within your own capacity, that is the purpose for life. So this is exactly my purpose of life too, to empower and help people to the best of my capability. I'm sure most of you resonate with this thought, as all of us are here for this noble and common purpose. Now, after all the presentations and after all the counseling which we do, the satisfied smile with a huge sigh of relief on the and the testimonials are truly rewarding. So with this thought, I start my presentation today. So I have about five students, and all of them have come to me for their career guidance. So this is the first student goes here as she's Manya, and if you see her UID is C3R1, C3A1, A1A1, A3A1, A1A1. She's about 15 years old. She came to me to know more about her career after 10th, and she will be writing her 10th this year. So with her C3 in the left prefrontal, she is highly curious to learn and very enthusiastic, and also she would love to learn a lot of things. Now R1 in the right prefrontal makes her very obedient and hardworking. She is so hardworking, like, even if she has to complete her notes, or even if she has to do anything and she has to sit down overnight and finish it, she will do it without any hesitation. And anything you ask her to do, she's so obediently and she's so respectfully, she does everything. Now, being high on auditory, she learns a lot by listening, and she gets distracted. Due to this also, she gets very distracted in the class, and she lacks a lot of concentration also due to being high on auditory also. Now, suggested to her that if she could sit in the first bench and make notes of whatever the teacher says as the teacher is writing or telling, and she can start making notes, that would really increase her focus and her activeness, and she can be really active and attentive in the class. Now, with low potential in university and high adaptiveness, she needs to work on the concentration and practice for better performance. So I told her, that she needs to improve her concentration well, and a few suggestions which I had given her earlier also. Now, this is a very interesting thing which I want to say about her multidisciplinary learner. This child was my student in the upper kindergarten level, that is, I should say, about 11 years back. And since she's been a child, whenever she was in my class, she would constantly participate in all the co-curricular activities, like you name it, singing, dancing, story, sports, whatever it is, you name it, and she'll be participating with a lot of enthusiasm. And she would also go back home with a lot of prizes in her hand. And today, with her GBP in my hand, I understand, I resonate, why she's been so active and what is the reason for her being so active. So moving to the next slide of hers, she's high on abstract sequential, and she likes to develop a lot of information, assimilate them, correlate a lot of ideas. She loves to study, and she can also do well in her universities, provided she's been given a very positive environment at home, which I definitely see with the parents, because she's been the only child and her parents are well educated, and they really help her a lot in all her studies and giving her a proper direction. And then she's being highly concrete sequential also, and being good with being concrete sequential, she can do well in all her exams, say 10th or any exams which comes up. She's very good at doing her exams. Now her subjects preferences which I gave her was commerce and math, of course, with a lot of effort which she needs to work on. Then looking at her, the next slide, she is she can understand herself very well. She knows what she wants. She's very focused as such. She knows really, If she wants these activities which has to be done, she will do it with a lot of persistence and doesn't give up on her needs. Now, her nature also being very good. She loves to have pets and she loves to be with the nature. And she has a pet at home, a cat which she has at home. And she is always, most of the times, taking care of the cat, and with lot of love and care is what she takes care of the cat. And then her word also being good, she's very smart, makes a lot of very good in her articulation, very good in her using her word power, and very good at framing meaningful sentences. Now, with this, I asked her, like, how many languages she would be fluent with. So she was very, she said, ma'am, I can speak about 4 to 5 languages, which are absolutely flawless also. And I then asked her, how is she in her languages? So she said her second language being Kannada. So she said Kannada and English as the subjects, where she really scores well without any much effort at all. So highly logical, analytical, and introspective is what makes her, look for knowledge much beyond the books. She's not the bookish type of girl, and she would like to pick up a lot of information from external knowledge. So task and technology also being good, she will be good in her CA and bookkeeping rather than being more with the getting associated more with people. Now, the next slide, she is very conventional, realistic, and investigative, being good. So she was advised to take up PCMC or PCME in her class 11 and 12, and then move on to do her BSc in math or BSc in computer science or in data sciences, where her nature is also good, or take up engineering in computer science also. And then her strength is, she's capable of developing herself and looking for new skills, and where she can move ahead with doing her master's too in the later after her graduation. Now, this is the testimonial by the mother. The mother gave me this testimonial, of course. And Mrs. Lakshmi Mohan was my daughter's school teacher. She had summarized the fingerprint analysis in her school, and that's how we came to know about it. As my daughter is in her 10th grade and not very clear about her further studies, so we approached her for the GBP, mainly for the career guidance. So it was a very interactive session where she decoded my daughter's career choices, sharing a few points of discussion here. Based on the GPP, she guided us on how we can help the child, suggesting effective study methods to enhance her subjects, her specific subjects. She explains various aspects of the child's potentials and encouraged her interest in multidisciplinary learning. She helps to understand the interest of the child in different streams, which aids in making a informed decision in the further studies. Each session lasted close to 4 hours, and we could openly discuss some of the challenges we had and found solutions, and would highly recommend GBP to all our friends. Now, from here, I move to the next child. She is Srujana, and her UID is A1, 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 and R2. She is a focused learner and highly effective in nature, very gentle and goes with the flow. With her right prefrontal being the strongest one, she's good at taking decisions and really, can take risk. And with her high intuitions also, she gathers a lot of information and assimilates them also well. So her R2 in her right occipital, when she came for her fingerprints and her counseling, I observed that she had a lack of aesthetic sense, and I didn't find her very creative rather. And when I noticed that her sense of dressing also was not very great, just compared to the comparatively her visual being low. Now her abstract sequential being good, She will do very well in her universities. She loves learning new concepts, inquisitive, and loves to develop new ideas very logically. So her subject preferences, which I gave her, was math, commerce, and vocational subjects. And then now, as you see, her logic is being good, and she's good at a lot of calculations and mathematical concepts, and everything comes very easily to her. So again, being very good at languages, she uses her nose. She knows which word to use where, very appropriately. So she knows what to wants for herself, and she was already focused about what she had decided, what she wanted to study with. I will tell you with a very interesting story. Now, Cosmic making her very competitive, and she's very empathetical, also very soft spoken, and doesn't try to hurt anyone much. Very calm and a quiet girl. Now, her goal and task being highly persistent and focused on her goal and the job which she takes up in her hand. Now, being highly investigative is what I advise to take up BSc Math, Computer Science. Research in science was also a good option. But then, as I told earlier, I have a small story to tell here. This girl, when her mother being my ex-colleague, so I was talking to her mother about, how we work with GDP, how the brain works with the help of fingerprints, and how the whole system works is what I was telling her mother. So this girl who was very attentively listening to what I was talking to her mother, so immediately she went back and told her mother that, Mama, I want to get my fingerprints done. I want to see what my fingerprints are, because she was focused on doing forensic science, and she found me at the right time. And then, so she immediately brought her mother for her fingerprints. And then then I said, okay, let me go through your report. And when I got the report, and then when I found her investigative being so high, I said, okay, then you can go with your dream, and suggested her to take BSc in forensic science. And presently, she's doing her BSc in forensic science, and she's very happy with the course and enjoying it. And of course, she came to me when she was in class 12. So this was a little older report. And now with doing her BSc in forensic science, she's so happy that, every month or every 15 days, she doesn't miss out on calling me and telling, how happy she is. And she tries to explain, what all happens in her course. And every day, she gives on detailing about what happens in the course and all that. So that's a very interesting story which I found. I thought, present it here. So this is, of course, the testimonial by the mother. I wanted to share my feelings regarding the fingerprint analysis which was conducted by Lakshmi ma'am. This analysis helped me to take a proper decision regarding my career. What Lakshmi ma'am analyzed about me is truly relevant with my character too. Thank you, ma'am, for helping me. So it really, gave a lot of satisfaction after this. Now we're moving ahead with the next child. This is Vidit, and as you see, his UID is C3A1, C1A1, A1A1, C1C1, A1 and A1. And this child also came to me about 2 years back while he was pursuing his 12th standard then, and wanted to know mainly what he could do in his career in his university's life. Now, with it being an accelerated learner, has a great potential for his extracurricular activities and advanced courses, of course. So energy was the one which had to be, properly channelized, is what I told his mother also. Now, with high left prefrontal, the child is highly curious, analytical, and is very optimistic. Like, whatever you say, he says, yes, I will do it. He would never think away any time telling that, no, it is not possible. He never said that any time. Of course, he is very introvert, and then has a lot of leadership qualities. So here the mother was telling that, in their apartment, so wherever, there is in their apartment or in the college, whenever he has to take part in anything or be a leader, he would also, be leading the group from the forefront. And with high temporals, again, he gets very distractive in his class. And due to which, he gets disturbed at times and lacks on his focus also with his loud zones. And he can, of course, learn and do a lot of, studying and assimilation by reading and writing a lot. So that means to say that he needs a lot of practice by reading and writing. A lot of practice is what, he could really achieve what he could do well. And moving to the next slide. The subjects which are suggested were BCom, CFA, and CA with good analytical capacity. Now, this child being very good at abstract sequential, he will definitely do well in his university. In fact, better than his school is what he would, if you can see the concrete sequential and concrete abstract sequential, he would definitely do much better in the college level than in the school level. Of course, which he needs a very structured environment. And this is where I said, he has to be channelized and will definitely do well in his studies ahead. Now, on the next slide, if you see his word being good, of course, is very good at vocabulary. And he also, has learned a lot of languages. And he was, pursuing and learning German earlier also. Like when I met him, he was also, learning German language. Now, nature being good, he was also into, I suggested like, he could take up data sciences is also another option which I gave. So Cosmic, he is very confident in his task and very soft-spoken and very quiet and does his work quietly. Self, he is very aware of what he wants, though was very conscious and he said, no, I want to do this, I want to do this. And then is when I did the analysis and I came out with the options of, doing his BCom and things like that. Now, highly being introspective and analytical, he talks only when it is needed. Unnecessarily, he will not go around talking and he will talk only when it is required. When Anil asks him something, only then is when he will talk. And of course, he analyzes his situations before taking any decision, Now, the process and task also being good. I understand this child was very meticulous, very careful in his work, and he would love to read and get a lot of knowledge. And he always looks for knowledge, which is beyond the textbook. And he would, pick up a lot of books and read and assimilate knowledge. And he values deadlines a lot. So any project given to him, until he finishes his work, and he is into the habit of keeping his work ready the previous day, and till it is finished, he would never take a rest. And then his mother also was telling, which I can again resonate here, that he is very organized. He doesn't like anything being dirty or in a hop shop way or something like that. Is highly organized. So whenever you go into his room or something and see, it would always be neat, clean, and highly organized. So with being high investigative again, unconventional, he was suggested to take BSc either in research or BCom and CFA, whereas of course his analysis comes easily. And presently, this child, as I told you, he came 2 years back. Presently, he's doing his second year BCom and is very satisfied with the course. So whenever I take a feedback from the mother, which I often take with my clients, so I understand the mother was telling, that he is very happy with the course what he is studying presently. Now, moving to the testimonial, Mrs. Lakshmi ma'am, I would like to thank you wholeheartedly for giving clarity on my, son's career path. The brain mapping test helped us in making his choices very clearly, and It was an eye-opener as I wasn't aware of my son's strength and weakness. So thank you so much once again. Go to the next slide. This is MiDNA, another very interesting child. As you see, our UID is R1, 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 R2, 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 and A3. So she is presently pursuing her second year in BBA, and with high visuals as high as 37.79, she is a very good shooter and was sent to the national selections a few months back. But then she came back dejected, saying that she missed it in just 2 points. So, of course, she's been highly reflective, with 9 lobes being reflective. It is more of repetition than being very intellectual. With R in the parietals, not much of, though it is more into sports, it is not of that, more of physical exertion type of sports. It's more of, sports which is going to be with more of repetitions and with her visuals very high, this is how I got connected and I understood, why she's doing so well in her shooting because her visuals are so great and sports is one area which she can really do. And yeah, she is into shooting, but then she learns only by constant tutoring. She needs somebody who can be, 24/7. She needs a constant tutoring. It is not that, without any support, she finds it very difficult to do. And she needs a very step-by-step approach. Now, intellectual and analyzing ability also not happening naturally to her. So she needs a constant support at every time she needs a constant support. Now, moving to the next slide of this child, her CQ and picture being good, she's very creative also. So this is one thing is what I got to know. And she has a very good flair for colors and drawing and sketching also. She does these are the ones which comes very easily to her. Now, though her body energy is good, but with R1 in her parietals, not much with physical extent. Like, she really can't do a lot of, that running and where the gross motor skills are really put into action. Now, her goal, she has a great visualization potential and sees a large picture and with a lot of external support is what, and she sees a lot of visualization means, so then when I asked her, like, what do you visualize? Then she said, ma'am, I start visualizing that one day I get into the nationals and I'll be, on the victory stand with the our national flag on me, and I would like to visualize myself, getting a first prize for the country. So these were her visualizations, which I found it very interesting, of course, and where she can do a lot of dreaming and visualization. So people, she's very interactive and she, of course, really values a lot of relationships and she has whole lot of bunch of friends with her and she, really very values a lot of relationships and friendship there. Highly being enterprising, artistic and social. And these three being high is when I suggested, like, she can take up a certificate course, maybe in the food industry, nursing, or a diploma in designing, where her creativity is also high. With, she can get into designing and things like that. Or she could always, work with an event management or get into wedding planning or something like to do with, get into a beauty parlor, do a small course on a beautician course and, open up her own beauty parlor and all that. Or the best option was, she could also continue herself as a coach in shooting, where, she could train the younger generation, the next generation to come and help them in shooting. Now, this was the testimonial given by MiDNA. I met Lakshmi ma'am through a common friend and was curious to know about my career choices after my graduation. So after my scans, We had a very interactive sessions where ma'am explained my report in detail. At the end of the session, I got a lot of clarity as to what I should be pursuing further in my career. So this analysis was a great eye-opener for me, and I would recommend this to all my friends too. Now, moving to the last child's presentation. This is Vijay. Again, another very interesting child. And his UID, as you see, is D3A1, D4 with a small x, D4, D1A1, A3A2, A1, and A1. Now, this child is also presently pursuing his 10th standard. And he also came up to me to understand what he could do in his career moving ahead. And he would also be giving his 10th standard in another few months. Now, if you have if you've heard the previous client the student whom I spoke, Manya. Now, this Vijay and Manya are both classmates presently. Though Manya was in my class in the kindergarten, Vijay was in the other section. So these two are classmates, and Manya, after her GBP analysis, and she spoke to Vijay about all this and how it worked and how it helped her. And that is how Vijay came to me to understand more about himself. So this child also being very interesting. He has D in his four lobes. So, which causes with a double loop, it causes a lot of confusion. And another thing is, he really doesn't trust anyone much. And with his small x also, it contributes a lot of disturbance and oscillations. Now, the D4E has a huge, hurricane within himself. But then, talking about D4, looking at both the sides of the D4, like one thing is, he looks at a different, a wide angle of opportunities, which leads him to being highly creative. He comes out with, out of the box thinking, different opportunities is what he starts looking at. But the other aspect is, he gets a lot of confusions and oscillations. Of course, the small x also, which is supporting him there, which creates a lot of disturbance and, oscillations in him. And he's, uh, he's more of a less of a theory person and more of a creative child. So whatever he does, he wants to do, whereas theoretically he can really do well, and which is he doesn't really want to do much on his doesn't want to really do much on the theoretically, but would love to do more on the creative side. Now, being a left brainer, and he is more of technology high, of course. Now, accelerated learner also makes him more suitable for extracurricular activities. So, study preferences, what he was good at reading and writing. And of course, though he has to do his class 12, which is more of theory based. So I told him that, he has to do a little bit of reading and writing and putting a little conscious effort, so that because, he had to do his 12th standard at least, to get his move on to his other portions of career. Moving to the next slide, though his math and commerce being good, with the D4, he is more creative, and as I said earlier, he prefers less creativity and he prefers lot of creativity and less of theory. And of course, his abstract sequential being good, he will do well in his university and prefers studying by himself. His career options given were math, commerce, and humanities. Now, moving to the next slide. His people being good, he loves to socialize. And with a D4 also there, he has an ability to do very well in his creative media. Now, body being good, he is very energetic, enjoys dancing and drama. So here I would like to tell us a small sequence here. So when I was talking to this child about his interest in dance and drama, so he came out and he said yes, in school, and whenever there is a school dance competition or a drama competition, so he is the one who's been named for a lot of choreography. And similarly, what happens is, in his apartment when there are these festivals or any other occasion, so all his neighbors, friends, everyone, they approach him for a lot of, choreography and helping people in doing this drama. And then what I interestingly observed was, while this child is good in dance and drama and all those things, he I found that his hand gestures were very feminine. So when I asked him, how is it, what type of choreography you do, though I didn't want to ask him about his hand gestures, I just noticed it. And then I asked him, like, what is the type of choreography you do? Whom do you teach? And what is that, which, type of friends do you teach? So he said he's very comfortable teaching the female steps and the male steps. So this is where I understood, where he is teaching comfortably to the girls also, the choreography, and the boys also. So the reason why, I could find a lot of gestures being feminine. So then when I noticed all this, and then I told him, like, if he can get a counterpart who can teach the girls the feminine steps, and he taking care of the steps for the boys, it would be a better idea. Then he said yes, he is looking out for a friend who can teach choreography for the girls too. Now if you can see, his goal is high on visualization and looks for reaching his goal effectively, and he doesn't give up on his job and till it is finished. Like, task tries to look for perfection and is highly punctual also. And moving to the next choice, his career choices, which was given was, like, he could do his computer science, BSc in computer science, or visual communication, BSc in electronics, or instrumentation, or video editing and animation. And of course, in his class 11 and 12 is what I told, he can take up either PCMC or PCME. So when I told him about math, I saw a frown on his face. He said, "Ma'am, math, can't I do away with math?" But then I said, math is one, till he finishes his class 12, at least math is mandatory. And it is not that, he wasn't able to do well with math. He could do well with math, but he needs, of course, a lot of practice, a conscious effort, and a lot of practice is what he needed. So then he agreed, okay, only till 12th standard, then I will try and do math. But then, he needs a lot of practice also there. So of course, and I've been trying to help the parents, because the parents, again, he came back to me and was asking, like, first and 11th and 12th is, of course, we are sorted out, we know what we have to do, we are giving him. And in fact, the admissions are also being done here in Bangalore, so he has already been enrolled into PCMC for his class 11 and 12. So the father was more anxious to know as to know what he can take up in his graduation. So then I suggested a few colleges in Bangalore who offer being visual communication and graphic designing. So I have suggested a few colleges, which offer that in BSc and in his degree classes. So then, of course, he has another 2 years time. Now, talking of editing, this child has he's already into editing, and very nicely he edits a lot of videos and audios together and all that. In the recently concluded Navratri festival also, this child has made a 5 minutes video. Though I cannot play the entire video, I have cut it down to 35 seconds. Now I really don't know if I'll be able to present it here, but in case you're unable to hear the audio or something, and with sir's permission, I can always put it up in the group. And where you will be able to understand the child's creative talent. He's been so talented, and how well he has edited the whole thing. So I'll be moving ahead to show you this. So I really don't know if all of you have heard this, but with sir's permission, I can definitely play this on the group also. So after the counseling was over, this was a testimony which I got from Vijay's father. After my counseling session, I feel clear on what to do in my pre-universities. My mentor, Lakshmi ma'am, explained the report clearly and answered to all my doubts patiently. I wholeheartedly thank each one and everyone from the MiDNA family and Lakshmi ma'am too. It was so nice of this child, to tag the entire family also. So with this, I come to the end of my presentation. And this is because, I found it very suitable and apt. I picked it up from our own page. So being very grateful and for every experience, it shapes you into who you are today. Yes, I'm immensely thankful to Sir for all his inputs in the morning sessions where, every day is a learning. And I'm really thankful to Bona ma'am for all her guidance. I'm sure I've troubled her the maximum, but with lot of patience, when she really comes back and she helps me in all the, analysis and all that. Vijay Lakshmi ma'am for her support, and and of course Suresh, who has always been there, very approachable for all his clarifications. Jai Shri, Suma, Harish sir, for being my wonderful friends. And I thank the entire MiDNA family for being here and for supporting and motivating me today. So thank you everyone for your presence in this morning session and for being here and helping me go through my presentation. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thank you, Lakshmi. Yeah, feedback, please.
Lakshmi, congratulations. It was a very good presentation, very cool presentation, of course. I really loved your video invite where you mentioned the wait is almost over. I'm happy that you went ahead and completed 3.0 successfully. It was a very good and clear presentation, Lakshmi. Please move on to the next level without waiting further. Looking forward to your 4.0 very soon. Wishing you all the best, Lakshmi, as you move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Vijay.
Yeah, Harish.
Lakshmi ma'am, your presentation was very good. I generally am not a regular person in the mornings, but today I really made it. Your presentation was very, very calm, cool, and as usual. What I can see is, we've been associated with MiDNA for so many years, but you can see how Sir is mentoring us and helping us grow in such a way. I can see in the past 5 to 7 years how much I learned and how much I grew, and I can see that you are very consistent in your association and learning process. So hats off to you, ma'am. Great job. And definitely very soon I want you to see a complete 4.0 also, and then looking forward to meet you very soon at in the January event. All the best to you, ma'am. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Wonderful, Jai Gurudev. Lakshmi, I've known you personally, and your interactions with your family is something I have witnessed. So the calmness, the composure, and then just waiting in the side wings and letting everybody blossom, in their own style is something I have watched about you. And I see the same kind of personality showing up when you're mentoring your young people also. I also see that there is tremendous clarity in guiding them towards what the next step should be and what subjects they should take up. I think there's a lot of focus there for you, especially 3.0 is showing up that. And I think 4.0 will show up those very special traits and qualities that are springing out because of their very, very different natures. I had some very important questions also that came to my mind today, which will be directed to Ratnaji and you also, which is the D4X and D4, the child showed, the young boy with an accelerated learner and a frontal with a D4X. That's a very, very special quality and special trait. And I'm wondering what will unfold, especially if it's on the left, because I'm witnessing a person with a D4X on the right. I want to see what happens when the D4X comes to the left frontal. That is one. And the second case that you brought up was the completely reflective. I doubt if I have ever, we have seen something as less as 54 energy, but this child's was, lesser than that. A completely reflective child, yes, with the occipital alone showing a little more energy. I wanted some more light thrown on how this person is actually handling all the pressures of the common world around. So you have triggered a lot of questions in our mind. At the same time, very calmly and composedly, just delivered what is required for the client at this point of time without overdoing it. So it's beautiful, Lakshmi. Congratulations. Yes, looking forward to your 4.0 very soon.
Thank you, Jayashree. Thank you. Means a lot. Thank you.
Anyone else?
So,
Yeah.
very nice presentation, Lakshmi ma'am. I love the presentation. Yes, as Jayashree ma'am said, interesting was those two, Vijay and Meghna, the shooter and the creative video editing person. We would love to know, as ma'am said, more about the D4X in the left frontal. This could be very useful for all of us as learning. I think sir will throw some light on that. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was great.
Thank you. Thank you, Vinodini.
Right. Yeah, Jaya.
Sir, good morning, sir. Good morning, all. Really, it's a wonderful presentation. The explanation about each report was very clear, and with the different UID you picked, the morning session was packed with a knowledgeable sharing. It's really helped us to understand each report. And so everyone mentioned this Magna and Vijay report. I also noted it because the last month I faced a person with 90% R with the 20 as a potential. Sir mentioned as a need good tutoring. So we'll see what they come out with. It's all the very best, Lakshmi. And as everyone mentioned, we are expecting a DDS 4.0.
Thank you.
Keep transforming many more lives.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Bhavanaji, please.
Good morning, sir. Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you for being my mentee. I have also learnt a lot from you, how to be calm, how to be patient, and thank you for putting up with me. That's what I would say. And
I should be saying that, Bhuvana, for putting up with me.
and good presentation. It was crisp and smooth and nice. And yeah, it was a pleasure listening to you. And thanks a lot, and wish you all the best and in your continued journey in MiDNA. And sir, I wanted to say something about the R. Now, with complete reflective, the child's nurturing should have been so good to have. One thing is she was focused. Another thing is the nurturing was so good that she reached up to the national level in shooting. With just one strong lobe, she made use of that visual lobe and being aware of her surrounding, and visual gives some kind of a good And that too, left visual is perception, right?
Right.
So that's how she managed to reach up to the national level.
Right.
And but because of being art, that competitive spirit was not there to take her forward.
Right.
So that was one thing, and we'd love to hear from you about D4, sir. More
Right.
about D4X. Thank you,
Right.
sir.
Yeah. So yes, well presented, and as everybody said, very slow, no rushing through, not too many words here and there. Being a teacher, articulating also comes very nicely, in spite of having small x in both the frontals. The presentation as well as the continuity of staying connected with MiDNA for quite some time now. In fact, I was telling yesterday, the slowest 3.0 as on date in with MiDNA. Nevertheless, slow and consistent was something that she did, which is usually we don't find it with small x. They become restless and all. So that is attributed to all other lobes being cognitive. If there was any A1 or in one or two compartments, then this steadiness, this slowness would have definitely got disturbed. So very high on harmony index, but with the small x not really affecting, the cushioning effect of the small x is getting from all other lobes as well. So that's something we can see there. Now coming to this two reports, I am also not, I have not seen the whole report, though I might have given some inputs sometime when during the report and the interpretation part of it. But as of now, just offhand, if I have to say, reflective, always remember reflective in the prefrontal, even if it is only in the prefrontal, it will go to a lot of practice and become an expert and do something well will happen. And when it is 90% reflective, obviously the what parents are advising and what is usually done as a child is a lot of repetitions are expected for children. And when children are not doing the repetition, then the sports and the activities ones definitely, does not become a focus. So I would say, though they are all 90% R1s, one has to look into the fingerprints and see how the prints are, because some of the reflective pattern prints, you will see a lot of splits happening in one direction or the other direction. They are not truly parallel lines. They are lines with a lot of connections here and there. So it may be very interesting to look into the patterns in detail and add something more to it, because sometimes you will see two or three bifurcated lines which are in the forward or maybe in the reverse also it can be there. So we cannot say all the reflectives will be of similar type. Nevertheless, because the visual is not actually not focus actually. Okay, so we may have to see it as something that was, we know that the right side is the outward looking and the left is more inward looking inside. Okay, so had it been a left one, it would have gone with all your graphs and observations and kind of trying to look into the details and kind of thing. Here, I would say the national ranking has come not because of the visual, it is because of the repetition and because of no distraction. When you look at it, you look at it only, not anything else. So you can say, though it is not focus, but I would say because of lack of distortions or distractions, it has become naturally the one. That means when you are seeing, because you are seeing it 100%, the mind is not processing any other information. It has become whatever little bit of energy is there, it has become all and the whole and the full-fledged activity. So this looks like focus, but this is not actually the focus, because the focus has to come more from the converging and not from the diverging. So this is a very interesting, I would say, case. It's not that all children who will have maybe the same UID will have similar one, but only one other lobe coming in, for example, if it is on the temporal or maybe it's on the frontal, then obviously it will get distracted in two lobes and maybe it will pull, then maybe you have to bring in the focus. So here, because it is 1 out of 9 are not interfering, only one person, he or she has all the way performance is coming. No, all the energy is going to one particular lobe. So repetitiveness is naturally the core strength of the children who are having more reflectiveness, especially in the prefrontal. Okay, because if it is in the frontal alone, then you are always looking at something new. So you are not reinforcing the process. So process is missing. So here I would say, though it looks like if you put in the data, it might look like it is little more goal, but because it is sensory contributing to the goal, it is the sensory lobe that's performing much more. So aesthetic comes in, and it is more and more whatever task you take, you just do only that. Okay, so that has contributed to the national one. And definitely there are a lot more other challenges coming in because of that. And we all know in genetic brain profiling, you get something at the cost of something else. But we are focusing what we are getting, but not the cost that we are paying for it. That is why I continue to repeatedly say, don't glorify something beyond what it deserves. Focus on something that is not getting attention. Because if you don't pay attention to what is that we call the threats and the weakness, what we considered, later part of time life, it will be a big regret as well. So that's very, very important. And I know when children are good at something, they do well, you say something, they feel good. There's no doubt about it. But life is not about getting what you want, also getting what you don't want or not you are not comfortable in getting as well. So I would always say, maybe I don't know, my ex always not going with the flow. I'm just looking at in a different direction, because ultimately it is a balance that's going to make you feel very comfortable in the long run. Not that, because when we overuse the strengths, it gets exhausted and it gets worn out, and it doesn't interest you much. This is what we have seen when people are young. They are very comfortable in doing what they are good at, but after some time they get bored with that. So the boredom comes when you overuse what you are already good at, and that's not a great thing to persuade. So let us not go with everybody saying, it's great, no good, no issues about it, but we must focus on what we are not very comfortable also, and that's where the big challenge and the big pressure comes in. So that is a general idea. So that's about the reflective child, all about. Now you come to this D4, both the D4. In fact, most of the data that is shown, the suggestions that we give, all of them will be not really working out well because of the D4, because of the small x, because of the converging, diverging variations and all. So I would have not really, gone with this child only with a basic report. It should have been definitely, looked into little more detail with with a 8-page report. And because a lot of things will not happen as if it is shown in the report. For example, if you remember in the departmental choice, the software and data science was the number 1, but he wasn't doing anything there because of the small x in the left frontal D4, which says there could have been more diverging. And remember, maybe this training program, please somebody remind me of the double loops challenges that we will face when it is interpreted. It is much more complex than what we see with even the cognitive lobes. Because in cognitive, at least the oscillation is not there, the consistency and kind of repetitiveness or reproducibility is very high with cognitive lobes. Even in a simple D1, maybe all right, D2 and D3 are quite complex than what it seems. And I don't want to really, spend time now. Maybe we'll see in the training program, I can take some 10, 15 minutes to tell you how complex is double loops, because there are two cores and then two deltas, how the double loop is getting formed, and when it is D4, it is even more complex. So let us not say anything as of now, because it won't really help you. But definitely D4's rather, whatever in the report, 6-page report, I'll say even discard the 6-page report and just go with the extra pages, 2 pages that we are giving in the 8-page report. I think that will be much more relevant. Just to give some basic idea, this may be good, but definitely not for a very crucial, detailed guidance. Definitely not. Okay. And this is happening in most of our, as I continue to believe, 100% reflective, 100% effective, will the report, the 4-page report and the 6-page report is good enough. But the minute you see a double loop or wall pattern coming in, I will not definitely want to try, jump into the detail aspect of that, because the converging and diverging crossovers and the age and the gender and the environment, everything matters a lot. So I would say it's not a good idea when you have small x or capital X to interpret any report without a plus report. But that's a choice. The client should be comfortable. The mentor should be comfortable in getting into deep. And I will definitely say, if you are not attending morning 5:40 p.m. session, please don't try any plus report. It's unfair. Maybe you are not doing justice to the client as well. So that is what I would say in the long run. If you have time to attend morning sessions, at least 50% of the time, it is good that you persuade plus report, and maybe one day I will restrict even that accessibility for those who are not attending the morning session. So continue to learn. It's going to be a lifetime. I can't conclude anything, because what I spoke 1 year before, I am not speaking now. So what I spoke last month, I am not speaking now. Every report is a new learning opportunity. Let us not conclude that this pattern will be like this only. Let us learn together. And I am seeing a true contribution is happening slowly now that Bhuvana is adding something to the interpretation, and Nitya is fabulous actually. Lot of she takes time, but she comes up with a lot of innovative inputs and all she comes with. I am sure by end of 2026 we will have almost, I just be a spectator, and a lot of contributions will happen from all of you. That is how we have to move forward and get into deeper and deeper. And that is what I would like to call it as a nurturing expert. And if you don't use plus report, you continue to be a decoding expert and continue to deal with what we consider it as, the initial 1 points of it. Okay, the alerts we can give. But if you have to really follow up with the client and give a little more insights of it, which is going to definitely come in. But as I continue to believe, a lot of people are comfortable only hearing a good news, but not the bad news. But if somebody is interested in taking a plus report, that means if you are not interested in the so-called bad news or unpleasant news, then you just live in your own world of everything fine, I'm okay kind of thing. Nobody can stop it, but you can't swipe everything under the carpet. It will come up, and one day you will definitely look into the report and see what I can do about it. So it's a lifetime learning, and I'll continue to learn along with you. I am not somebody who is learning offline. I'm learning only in this morning sessions when reports are coming in. And all of you know that I see report only when you are seeing the report. I'm not seeing report before that, because I don't want to really come up with something very clearly. I just want to go with the flow, and whatever comes through my mouth, I just want me also to learn. And before I close, we all talk about out of the box thinking, find out what is the out of the box feeling as well. So both of them are important. and that is coming from the converging in the right brain and the diverging in the left brain can bring you the out of the box thinking and out of the feeling. But it is not as simple as one liner. It's much more deeper than that. But 99% of the social media people are just talking the general stuff, which we have to, be very awareful about it. Anything that you see, any quote that you see, please connect it with genetic brain profiling and think, where does it come in our report, this statement or this word that the people are talking about. So life is about learning, and then some little bit of earning also happens. But the understanding, the ecstasy is in getting revealed, that is not easily seen outside. And I continue to believe this DDS sessions are a great, uh, revelations for all of us, because when, like you see in today's one, when you validate something with the report, it is correlating. I don't think anything else we can attribute to the ultimate, the truth or the validation. So whatever I say in the morning sessions are just possibilities and probabilities. When you give a feedback about it, it is being seen and it is being acknowledged by the client as well. I think that's the ultimate, validation that we can consider as well. So thank you once again for all those who are keeping me energized in the morning by attending. If you can't come, still we are sharing the recordings and all go through, but nothing like live participation as well. So try as much as possible. And this learning is priceless. And if you are really interested in plus report, you have to do something plus than what others are doing. So that's about it. And I'll continue to learn and share whatever I have with all of you as well every day. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.